What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This is another video from the infamous Thompson'S Kennels coming live to you from Hood Woods, baby. It's a hot one today, man. It's hot. Y'all look after y'all dogs, man. The heat has officially come. But this is gonna be an informative video. Shout out to the homie Buck, man. June 6th is officially Dog Thief Awareness Day. I would appreciate if you brothers who got platforms, if y'all have any information or anything to share regarding dog thievery, how to prevent it, things you noticed that you saw, you know, make a video today and inform other people. Because I've done a lot of fucked up shit in my life, but I ain't never steal a dog from nobody. I think that's one of the lowest of the lows you could get, is a dog thief. I can't put it on the same level as doing something to a child or a person, but that is pretty goddamn close when it comes to me, when it comes to stealing somebody's dogs. I think you got to be the most pussiest piece of shit ever to do that. And even more pussy and bitch made to put somebody else up to steal something from somebody else. If you're gonna be a coward, at least stand on your 10 toes and and die like a real coward. You know what I mean? Don't put another brother in jeopardy trying to take something and he lose his life because you put him up to that. Just being 100, you know what I mean? A lot of weird stuff going on, but we're gonna be here to always clear it up over here at Hood Woods. I'm gonna share my experience living in the suburbs and now living in Hood Woods. Everybody who knows me know I do the HVAC refrigeration thing. And when I lived in the suburbs, and let me slow down a little bit. When we used to do the lives and shit, we touched on some of this stuff in our podcast about dog thievery. When I had the brothers up there, you know, people that's in my circle and stuff, they would come up there and talk and speak and share knowledge. But I'm gonna share my suburb experience. Like I alluded to, everybody know I do heating and air for a living. So with me doing heating and air for a living, I would always take care of my neighbors. And what I mean by take care of my neighbors was I would always fix their air conditioners if it was broken for little to nothing. If they didn't have the money to pay me up front, I would let them do payments, and I was always going to be cheaper than going to a big time company to get it done. So I always tried to keep a great relationship with my neighbors. That helped me out in the long run, because it was a time on this internet where people would call the police to my house for dogs and say I was fighting dogs. It wasn't my neighbors, it was actually from the internet. But it used to happen to me, and when animal control pulled up, my good neighbor at the time, he called me on the phone. He said, man, there's some animal trucks pulling up by your house, man. You probably need to come home. I said, thank you, man. Jumped in the ride. Of course, they didn't find nothing or take nothing, but you know, me being the person that I am and helping him out, because he had a crappy ass AC, but he didn't have enough money to get it fixed. He was just waiting to get some money cleared, and you know, he came to me and said, man, I'm just trying to keep it hopping along. If you could help me just make it through the summer until I get this money up and I can get the whole thing replaced. And I was nice enough to do that for him, and he looked out for me because he worked from home. That was a big thing. Be good to your neighbors. Buck showed a great camera setup, and I want to share what I learned from Going Hard Kennels when I was watching one of their shows, and they were talking about how that camera actually ended up being beneficial to them in their court case to prove that they were taking care of those dogs, because they were being recorded as they was feeding and cleaning up and taking care of those dogs. And that when the prosecutor wants to say you wasn't doing it, and you say, hey, I have all these hundreds of hours of video of me taking care of dogs, you know, you're going to be hard pressed to say that I didn't, and I got video proof showing that I did. So the camera setup that Buck showed was great. We covered neighbors, we covered the camera setup. We're gonna cover another thing. You know, people get on me all the time because, you know, people be like, man, Thompson, you just too hard and rough. You don't want to be friends with nobody. That's where the buddy shit becomes a problem. Because 9 times out of 10, if you get a dog stolen, it's normally, if you ain't got no beef shit going on with nobody, it's somebody you knew who took it. I'm just being honest with a lot of people. You showed your homeboy, let me slow it down so I don't lose nobody. I don't have people kick it at my house. I'm an old grimy Brooklyn nigga. And something that my grandfather told me was never, ever, ever let men treat your house like it's a lounge. So people don't come to my house to kick it. This ain't the kick it spot. This ain't the let's chill. Oh, I ain't got nothing to do. I'm gonna just go drive by Thompson'S spot and chill. I don't play that shit. Never have, never will. I tell my younger cousins, you know, they got girlfriends and stuff. You know, I pop up on them or something. They be like, yo, man, come take a look at my AC or some shit. You know what I mean? And I see a bunch of motherfuckers kicking it at their spot. I pull them to the side and I drop the same bug in their ear, man. Stop treating your house like it's a motherfucking lounge, man. Get these motherfuckers up out your house, man. That ain't cool, bro. I don't know when that became a cool thing to have grown men sit up in your house, but it's not cool because everybody ain't your friend. I don't do no homeboy popping up and he bring a friend that I never seen before because I'm gonna fucking assault him in front of everybody because everybody know, don't come to my motherfucking house without calling me, bro. Don't pop up, don't do nothing. Because if I pop up at your house, I called you prior to me coming and we're meeting to go someplace. I don't like to chill in other grown men's houses. That ain't cool to me. Everybody to each their own. But I'm just giving some life rules that I live by for the young brothers. All of that homeboy shit, I don't play that. Don't bring ever, like my close cousins, they may come by and have to help me do something over here. Don't ever bring nobody with you without passing that by me. And you ain't gonna pass it by me because the answer is gonna be no. So all of that buddy stuff that I warned you guys about a long time ago, that's real. It's real. That dog thievery thing is real. And what I can honestly say is I've never personally had a dog stolen from me, ever. But I'm moved by a certain code, not saying it can't happen, but still, I move by a certain code and I've been able to dodge that bullet. So I'll tell all the young brothers, be very cognizant of who you bring to your yard. You guys get these dogs, and I know you guys are super excited. Y'all are happy to have your dogs. You want to show everybody your dogs, but take your dog on a walk if you want to show people. Don't invite people to your spot, because if they can sit down and try to calculate when you coming and going, it's nothing to try to snatch a dog. Another part of this conversation was the man biters. I'll never say who it is, but I got some. They may not be in heavy rotation in no breeding program, but they serve a purpose. They serve a real good purpose. I'll leave that part at that. But the other part of this thing that's a huge thing is the pit bulls are great alarm dogs. When I say alarm dogs, they may not all have the intention to bite a human being, but they damn sure let you know when somebody's coming and going. So know your yard, know your dogs, know those barks. I tell everybody all the time, I know those barks. I know a bark when somebody got loose. I know a bark when there's an animal in the woods. I know the different sounds my yard makes when something is going on. My dogs always talk to me. They alert me of what's going on. So, you know, pay attention to certain things around you. And, you know, this is just some information I'm spewing out just for the young brothers to prevent anything to happen with your dogs. You know, you got to think like that. You can't think, oh, it's all peaches and cream, because it's not. You know, shout out to that brother Break Bread Kennels. I was watching one of his videos, and he did a video when he thinks somebody had took one of his puppies out the cage. And, you know, man, it can happen to anybody, man. And like I said, a dog thief is the lowest of the low. The most pussified piece of shit you could imagine is what a dog thief is. Even if you playing or joking about it, it ain't no playing or joking about that, bro. It's just really not. And, you know, when things get raw, because, you know, we still getting emails about all the internet confrontation and all that shit. I always tell people, man, if you love yourself, you'll protect yourself. You know what I mean? I'm a very calculated person in everything I do. You know what I mean? It's no wasted motions with me. with Thompson. I'm very, very calculated. And you know, when these internet spats happen and people start threatening people, talking about stealing stuff or killing people, you know, I was never a person who brought street shit onto the internet. That ain't really me. Street shit happens in the street. The internet is the internet. But once you get on camera and threaten somebody or threaten to take their life, that's up there on video forever. You can't pull that back down. I was never big on selling wolf tickets. I buy the motherfuckers because I want to see. You got to prove to me that you standing 10 toes down on what you standing on. And I last time I checked, I walked around this whole motherfucker and I keep seeing the same dogs in the same chain spots. Seems like more wolf tickets to me. But with that being said, you gotta be careful what comes out your mouth because you can't take that back. Let's just do a quick example. You threaten to kill somebody on the internet, and then they bump into you in real life, and now they got the drop on you. Without a camera being around to witness what happened, that's a clean body. Because when I go to court, or whoever goes to court, they're gonna pull this footage and see you up here talking about killing somebody. My life was in danger. I was being threatened, Your Honor. So weird, right? That it could turn into that. But what Buck also alluded to, and what a lot of brothers need to do is, you know, protect yourself, man. If you got clean papers and you can carry, like my wife is CWP, and she'll drop you. I'm an ex-street dude who turned his life over to a better leaf, but she knew that when she met me. She's not a street person, but her dealing with a man like me, she had to acclimate herself to how I get down. So I took her to the CWP courses. She got that. She know how to use that because she's a mother. So she's going to take care of her children, and anybody who knows a real mother, they'll die over their children. So she has no problem taking nobody's life. And you don't even have to ask me that. I'm a person who's going to probably enjoy it a little bit too much. Just coming from where I come from, it's very normal for me. So protect yourself, you know what I mean? If shit goes left, that's what you do. That's what you do if shit goes left. But protect yourself and protect your dogs. And this is another informative video from Thompson'S Kennels.